Hey, what's poppin', guys? Sizzle here, and today we're taking a look at the USP-S in CSGO to see what the best skin is. So first off, we have stock. Looks pretty good. I mean, just nice, solid black overall. Not really a lot of damage here. And honestly, I mean, just absurdly clean for a stock weapon. The silencer looks great. The main weapon looks okay. It's pretty good. You can't go too wrong with this. So for that reason, I'm going to be moving it straight into probably the C tier. I think it's actually one of the better stock weapons out there. Probably this one. It's kind of hard to tell because all the art is so cut off. Could easily be the one down here. Actually, I think it is. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that's that one. If it's not, you guys at least know what it is, so it's whatever. Then next up, we have the first actual skin, the USP-S Forest Leaves. Yeah, I mean, it's a solid. I don't know why this one has a sticker on it from 2016, but it's your solid camo skin. Decent coloring all around, not too much wear and tear where it really matters, which is mainly the silencer and kind of this back corner here, which doesn't seem to have too much going on. But yeah, I mean, it's your basic camo skin. I'm not a big fan of camo skins. For people that like them, this one's okay. There's definitely going to be better options later. Kind of a bit of a spoiler, I guess, but you probably already knew about them if you're watching this. But yeah, definitely very low D tier. I don't like camo skins, as I say in every video. Then we have the USP-S Royal Blue. Yet again, I don't know why these have stickers all over. But this is one, kind of like the whiteout, where you need an absurdly good float for this to look pretty good. Otherwise, it looks kind of not as great. But when it looks like this, like pretty pristine, this is a great coloring, right? Nice color blue here, nice color blue on the bottom, and not the best color at the top part here, but it's definitely very passable and kind of fits with the other two colors here. Honestly, the main thing you want is this nice dark blue silencer, which just looks absolutely amazing, and this whole skin just looks super clean, super good. Honestly, probably one of the better ones. I'm gonna put it up in A tier. I do really like just, your simple, clean skins, and this is definitely one of them. Then next up, we have the USP-S Peregrine, which is mostly stock with a green handle. You're not going to see the handle too much, I don't think, if I'm remembering right in game. And the top is just a slightly more solid looking version of stock. So yeah, I mean, this is like a slightly cleaner stock. I mean, there's not much more to say about it. Very basic, but definitely not bad. I can't really shed anyone for using this. I think it's just a straight upgrade to stock, but only barely. So for that exact reason, it's literally like a millimeter above stock in the tier list. Then we have the USP-S Pathfinder. Very interesting design. It's supposed to look like a maze, and it does if you look really closely. But when you don't look too closely, it almost looks like kind of chains across the entire weapon. And it's the nice color scheme to match, and it is across the entire design. It doesn't like only go on the back part and not on the silencer like a lot of these other skins seem to do. It is across the entire thing. The wear and tear here is not because it's factory new. I guess it's just a part of it. You're just going to get some wear and tear and different coloration at certain parts. But yeah, I mean, solid colors, decent design, pretty hard to go wrong with. I think this is kind of the epitome of what a C tier skin is, right? I could see why people use this one, but it's not like you can't go wrong with this absolutely amazing skin. I can see why people might not like this. I could see why people would absolutely love this skin. I'm kind of in the middle here. I think it's a nice C tier. Then we have the USP-S Night Ops, which is just, it's a camo skin, but a bit washed. If you were to use a camo skin from the ones we've seen so far, I would definitely use the other one, not this one. It looks like bleached. Honestly, I don't see any real reason to use this, so for me it's an F tier. Like, I think if you're going to use a camo skin, this should just not be the one to use for the USP-S at least. Then we have the USP-S Business Class. Very nice and classy USP-S. Nice just general leather finish, everything. And even though the silencer might even be like 90% exactly the same, it almost looks more like plasticky or leathery, which kind of fits the rest of the skin. Otherwise, you can see leather here, and the nice brown coloring to kind of fit the leather there. One thing I can say is unfortunate is that this part here is still stock. I think it would look bad if it was also brown, so I don't know exactly what I'm expecting them to do, but it's the fact that this is like, kind of half complete that kind of draws away from it a bit for me. I still can totally see why people would use this very nice, classy, just simple looking skin. And I'd say it's pretty well deserving of a high D tier. I'd still actually use stock over this personally, but I can definitely see why people would use this. That being said, I'm having a hard time finding it for some reason. Which is kind of odd, because it has some pretty, I mean, the suppressor is pretty well defined, having that one ring of leather on it, so I don't know why I'm having issues finding it. There it is. Definitely a very high D tier, very close to C tier type of skin. Anyway, next up we have the USP-S check engine. Very interesting design. It's got that, what the thing's called. It's like a mesh on it. Very nice colors of red and I think a bit of orange. And then just a really shitty looking mesh over the top. But overall, you just notice the nice color of it. It's got an absolutely beautiful color, ruined by its absolutely abysmal pattern or design. That's pretty much all there's to say about it. For that reason, it's just a C tier. I would put this so much higher if it had better design, but it just doesn't. Then next up, we have the USP-S purple DD pet, which, yeah, I mean, it's somewhat purple, it's absurdly shiny. I think that it would look super out of place in game, and it's mainly just a camo skin. I'm not a fan of camo skins. Honestly, I would use this even less than the normal camo skin because it just looks so absurdly shiny, but I could see why people might use it just because the color scheme's somewhat okay, and if you like camo skins, I guess it kind of fits that, but I don't know, this one just is not for me. Then we have the USP-S stainless. This one's just a straight upgrade to stock. Very clean, just a cleaner bottom. I think it's the same stock. If it's not, it's slightly cleaner. And then the top here is like 800 times cleaner than what the other thing had. It just looks amazing. Can't really go wrong with this one. Absolutely beautiful. Straight upgrade to stock in every sense of the word. Very, like, I don't know, high B tier, low A tier type vibes for me. I still prefer the royal blue myself, but I can see why people absolutely love this skin. And there's definitely a lot of people who do love the USP-S stainless, so yeah, they kind of deserve it, right? They're doing, they don't have a horrible taste, unlike a lot of people that love certain skins. Then we have the USP-S Blood Tiger, camo skin through and through, but with some blood splattered on, but also like 80 times darker than any other camo skin, so you can barely even tell what you're looking at. It's just kind of shit, to be honest. It's better than the other, like the Night Ops or whatever, but I can't really give it much more credit past that. I believe this is it because it has like 1 or 2 splotches of red, but yeah, it's not a great skin. Then we have the USP-S Torque. I used this one for ages. I could not really tell you why, but it's a decent skin, right? Got some nice and bright colors with the white here, and I think that's yellow. Could be lime. I'm a bit colorblind. I can't really decide right now. And then there's just some black to finish together. I'm not exactly sure what this design is, but it definitely doesn't look bad. It doesn't look super amazing, but it doesn't look awful. I'd put this as a solid, probably high C tier, possibly low B tier, depends on how other skins end up looking, because I don't know too many USP-S skins off the top of my head, so maybe there's some other stuff that fits more in the B tier, but this is a very solid high C tier. It's kind of hard to go wrong with this one. It's a decent skin, decent colors, decent design, whatnot. Then we have the USP-S LED conduit, which is basically what the business class was trying to be. It's just a classier version of the business class, honestly. I know it doesn't have the leather, and it has this weird, like, sand dune bottom, but you almost never see that, luckily, and it's mostly covered by your hand. And what you do end up seeing is this just kind of cool design with, like, these little lightning arrows and, like, the kind of wind designs going across the top there, and just a general nice finish to the top of it that just feels kind of classy and well-defined, if you will. I don't really know how to explain why I feel like it's so classy. There's not anything I can really point out. I'm not really like an art major or anything. I'm just speaking on the internet. But I think it's a very solid B tier. If you want a classy skin, I'd go with this one over the business class. Then we have the USP-S Blueprint. Basically, get a consistently better finish across the board than the Royal Blue, with the trade-off of having an actual design instead of a super clean finish. But honestly, it's debatably better. The color of blue here is probably just the best one there is. I mean, these blue, the blue across this weapon is amazing. Absolutely love the look of this thing. And honestly, the blueprint kind of design to it doesn't even take away a lot. It still ends up looking really clean. And especially this part right here, where it's kind of like the blue outline on the black, makes me think of like almost like laser tag. You guys ever did that? Yeah, I mean, just absolutely beautiful. Design, colors, everything. It's really absurdly hard to go wrong with this one. I think it's our first S tier USP-S skin. I just love it, man. It's a really good one. Then we have the USP-S Black Lotus. Yet again, another super clean, just classy skin. Really detailed, nice design in the back that your eyes get drawn to, and when your eyes aren't looking at that, you're looking at the just nice looking suppressor that's really unique looking, really nice looking, and just a really nice handle. The colors across this weapon go really well together. It's like a little bit bleached, but not enough that it like looks bad. It actually looks kind of good because of that. It makes you draw your attention to the skin because it looks so different to a lot of the USB skins. Yeah, really solid design, really clean across the board. I can't really see too much wrong with this. This one's basically up to whether or not like you like this design or how much you like the back design, because the rest of the skin is amazing. And yeah, I mean that's all there you can really say about that one. Very solid, high B tier, possibly A tier depending on who you are. Yeah. Then we have the USP-S Road Rash. I believe this like Onapixels, I forget how you say his name. Just favorite skin. I couldn't tell you why. I mean, I guess I kind of like. I kind of see like the idea. Road rash, right? It's like a kind of straight part of the road where some car like drifted or something. I don't know. But yeah, you got some nice little bullet flying in the front here. Really kind of see with your attention. And then you got the white here across most of the skin. A nice green line across the whole thing, kind of following the bullet. And even a bit of a trail, kind of with that bullet, but for some reason it's always scraped to hell. Like this is a factory new one, the Battlescar one I think is even worse. It's interesting, I guess. It's definitely got a unique color scheme to it, and I like the focal point of the bullet, but I don't know. This is a weird skin, because normally a lot of damage kind of takes away from it, but this one for some reason kind of makes it work. It's got damage in all the right places that it kind of draws your attention to the big focal points. Right, you see bullet here, you see the green line here, you see the green line in the back, and then because of that you kind of connect the dots and put it all together. And just being so damaged kind of draws your attention, and the rest. And honestly, the handle being super damaged like this looks great. I will admit that much. But yeah, I mean I don't know what people find this like. People call this like the S++ tier skin. Like this, like their favorite USP-S skin. I'd say it's a solid B tier, probably behind the Black Lotus. That's kind of my 2 cents on it. I get a lot of shit for it, but whatever. Then we have the USP-S Ancient Visions. Which, yeah, just looks kind of bad. It's trying to like do like an old time temple skin, and those almost always look bad. And then for some reason they gave it like a super jank color scheme. Got like rainbow colors here and red over here, and just it's a whole mess of a skin. You can't tell what's going on anywhere, and it ends up just looking kind of super jumbled together and just kind of distinguishable. It basically just looks like your standard camo skin, even though it's not one. So I'm just gonna put it right with your standard camo skin, but right above it because it's not actually a camo skin. But yeah, just a D tier for me. Then next up we have the USP-S Orange Anolis. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about this one. The design's something, color scheme something. Definitely unique, I guess. But I don't know what they're trying to do here. Yeah, I think maybe it's trying to be scaly or something. A snake skin across the weapon, I guess. It's got some nice colors to it. Nothing crazy, nothing horrible. Decent design. It's surprisingly just okay across the board. I'd probably put this behind that really nice bright red one in C tier. Yeah, I mean that's really all there's to say about it. It's just a solid skin, I guess. Tell me the USP-S Darkwater. Very shiny skin with some random camo on it. Kind of shit, I'm not gonna lie. I think if you want a shiny skin, just get the stainless. It's beautiful. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This isn't like an F tier. It doesn't belong with the stuff in F tier, but it's pretty close. I'd put it as a low D tier. It just doesn't look good. It's nothing to look good. Then we have the USP-S Overgrowth, which is a super absurdly bright camo skin. The point of a camo skin is to kind of blend in, I think, and being super bright is the opposite of that, at least in this way. So for me, that's just kind of like a super F tier. I already hate camo skins, and this is failing at being a camo skin, so yeah, it's just not passing anything for me. Then we have the USP-S Guardian, real old-time classic skin. Basically stock with a nice, like, almost jeans finish. I don't know what the actual, this, like, pattern of jeans, I don't know what you call jeans, like, the design of that, so I'm just gonna say jeans finish right now. With a nice CT logo right there, because it's a CT-side weapon. Relatively clean, relatively simple. Just, yeah, I mean, it's better than stock, yet again, it's one of those stock upgrading weapons. But it looks a good amount better than stock, right? It basically fills the void left by the mediocrity of the top corner of stock. I'd say it's probably just under the C tier. Then we have the USP-S Cyrex, not the flashback, I misclicked. The Cyrex, very interesting color scheme, right? Red, black, and white. Not something I remember seeing too often on skins. And it's like the Torque basically in its design, where I don't really understand why things go where they do, but at the end of the day it ends up looking pretty nice, and it has really nice colors to back up its somewhat okay design. Unlike the Torque though, the colors here are a bit more unique feeling and nice looking in my opinion. I think this the general just cleanliness of this skin. Let me put it under the Black Lotus and B tier. Then next up we have the Flashback, which this is the camo skin you want to use if you like camo skins. I think this one looks nice. It's got an actual, like, more camo, dirty looking thing to the back, and you have a bunch of cool, just, I guess, things written on here, right? You know, bang, I think it says bang scratch. You got like a, you know, love is war peace sign thing there. Get some, sneaky beak is a CS thing, lock and load yet again. The sh on the silencer, and then, you know, born to clutch, press this. I don't know what 6769 is referencing, but I'm sure that's some other type of reference. But just like a bunch of little references written on the weapons, which is pretty normal. As far as I know, I'm not super into war stuff, so I don't know for certain. So if someone is, you know, more into war stuff, maybe you can verify this or, you know, prove me wrong or whatever. But I've seen a lot of, like, pictures of, like, old planes and guns and stuff where people basically just doodled on them in their off time in the army or whatever. And I think this kind of fits that vibe while also being relevant to CS, which I think is just great for a camo skin. One of the best camo skins in my opinion in this game. It kind of fits with CS, goes pretty well in place. I'm going to put it under the Road Ration B tier, which kind of says a lot because I really hate camo skins. Then we have the USP-S Ticket to Hell. I remember seeing this one because there's like a working QR code right here that brings you to the workshop page for the weapon. Otherwise, really solid black finish with a bunch of just nice-ish white designs that don't take things away from the weapon. Important thing was this random teeth design kind of in the corner here, which is where your eyes are generally drawn when you look at the USP-S. And otherwise, I mean, it's just a general really clean black and white finish. Reminds me of the Tuxedo for other weapons, except it's not as clean, but I don't know if that's exactly possible to do on the USP-S, so that's kind of the best you're gonna get. But yeah, I mean, just a bunch of cool random little designs with a very, very solid, clean color scheme and finish. Can't go too wrong with this one. I'm gonna put it in A tier. I like it. I just like clean, simple skins. So. Then we have the USP-S Target Acquired. Just a interesting skin, I guess. It takes that one kind of, what is it, planning map, like camo or whatever, and recolors it with some interesting colors. Colors of pink and cyan go together pretty well most of the time, and you know, this is a kind of good showcase, or teal, I think, not cyan. My bad. Or is it cyan? I don't know. One or the other. Either way, the colors go together very well. The design itself, you can't really actually see most of it. It could be pattern-based. I think the skin is pattern-based, so maybe you can get some stuff with some more meaning on it. But even if you don't, I mean, the colors just go together well, and the design's okay. Plus, it's a very unique set of colors. You don't see too many pink skins in CS until, I guess, kind of recently. They've been adding a lot of them. But before recently, there weren't too many, to my knowledge, especially now on this type of pink. I think it just looks pretty solid across the board. Probably just right below the Cyrex for me in B tier. It's a very solid skin. Kind of hard to go wrong with. Then we have the USP-S Whiteout, which is unfortunately yet another skin that you need like crazy good float to have look good. Like, I have one that's like a .7 or something, and like it looks like a completely different skin. You wouldn't even recognize it. When you have it like this, though, it's just beautiful, clean, just a clean slate. Impossible to go wrong with. Just a very, very solid S tier. I just love whiteouts, man. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll own any good ones anytime soon because they're all super expensive because they're impossible to craft. But yeah, it's a great skin, super clean, very simple, and exactly what then we have the USP-S serum, which is kind of the blood tiger, whatever it was called from before, except worse. At least the blood tiger had like the makings of a camo skin. This is trying to be, but it's failing miserably. I think this is luckily a one of those weapons used a lot in trade-up contracts, so we won't never see it much in game, and I'm kind of thankful for that. It's absolutely. Then we have the USP-S Orion, one of the all-time more classic skins, more infamous because I think it was removed for a bit, and then you could re-get it through trade-up contracts or whatever. But yeah, just absolutely beautiful color of orange, generally really solid design across the board, and the other half is like black and gray. It's just great colors with a pretty nice design. Really hard to go wrong with this one, generally because I just love the colors. I think it's a very solid high A tier. Then next up we have the USP-S Cayman. I saw this one a lot back in the day when Huntsman case came out, I think. But yeah, I don't particularly know why. It doesn't look insanely bad or good or anything. It's just kind of your run-of-the-mill skin, a little like dragon thing coming off the top here that you notice, and then otherwise it's basically just stock, but maybe slightly cleaner on the handle, depending on your thoughts there. But yeah, I mean it's a pretty nice, just generic skin. Probably better than the one I said it was straight upgraded stock, but not much better than that. Very solid, just on the middle C tier. Then the USP-S Cortex, one of the graffiti skins, because there's a shit ton of graffiti skins in this game. This one, there's like a pink, I guess is the guy's brain exploding out of his head into something that says, I believe that says Rush at the front here, or it's at least trying to, or Push. Or, oh, it just says USP, okay. For some reason I didn't see it here, but when I flipped it over, it was the same design, I noticed it. See, it just says USP, which is honestly worse than if it said Rush or something, at least then it'd be kind of cool. This one you get if you like the colors, like if you like the pink, the way the pink is kind of not covering the whole weapon, but just on parts of it. And I guess if you like the look of the skeleton thing that you'll never see. But otherwise, I mean, you're basically just getting, like, I don't know, it feels like 40% pink weapon with a nice just gray and white backdrop. Not even white, it's like another type of gray, 2 colors of gray backdrop. It's I don't know, it's okay. I can't give it too much shit, but I also can't really praise it a lot. I'm saying it's probably probably better than the Guardian, but probably worse than the Torque in my eyes. Just a solid C tier skin. Then we have the USP-S Monster Mashup, which this is basically what that other weapon was trying to be. Plus it has a... Actually, this one has a camo effect, which is cool. Like, sorry, not camo, hollow effect on the crocodile thing in the back. Alligator, I don't know the difference anymore. But yeah, you got like an alligator thing covering like the entirety of the front of the weapon. You even have the tongue as the handle, and it being dead. It says like monster, because it's a monster. I don't know what's going on down here, but luckily you don't really need to know. It's just fire, I guess, because there's fire there. I don't really know, but luckily you'll never see this. Your hand's covering it, so what you really just generally see is this really nice, cool, hollow alligator thing with just, I don't know, solid color scheme across the board, and a bunch of random designs up here that are like really faint and pretty much impossible to see other than Greek keys. I don't know what that reference to, but I'm sure it's something. But yeah, nice color scheme, cool hollow effect thing that I didn't even realize was a part of the skin until now. And then just decent design. Can't go too wrong with this one either. I think it's honestly a solid A tier skin, and I might look into picking up one of these because I think it's kind of unique. I don't see a lot of these, but I think they look. Yeah. Then next up we have the USP-S Kill Confirmed, probably one of the most recently infamous skins. I've just seen a lot of this out of the blue. Like I never saw any of this until like this year even, and all of a sudden I'm seeing in like every other CS video. And I can see why. I mean, it's beautiful, man. You get the nice skull with the glowing eyes in the back. and just a bullet with a nice flaming trail flying across this thing with an absolutely beautiful, dark red and blood red color scheme to the rest of the weapon. It's just great artwork on a great skin with great colors. You can't really complain about this one. Very solid S tier. The next up, we have the USP-S Neo Noir. I'm normally not the biggest fan of Neo Noirs. I generally think their color scheme is pretty decent, but I'm not the biggest fan of the artwork myself. And it kind of holds true here. At least they place it every time with the Neo Noirs. They do a great job placing the artwork, like the girl's in the perfect spot where your eyes are drawn to, and the rest of her, I guess, goes around the weapon. I like the fact that the white is kind of a layer on top of everything, and not just like somewhere in the middle of the weapon or whatever. And the lighting kind of reflects that. But yeah, if you like Neo Noirs, if you like the color scheme or whatever, you're gonna love this. So just your usual, really well-designed Neo Noir. I'm not the biggest fan myself, but I can still respect that, like, why people love these, and a lot of people will like this one. I think it's just a solid low A tier for me. The next up, we have the USP-S Trader. I haven't seen this one, like, ever, which is a bit unfortunate. It reminds me of the Empress from the AK-47, like, Empress. Has a lot of just nice colors and interesting designs. I'm not going to say they're really good or bad, but they're definitely thought out, right? They have this nice design of like a tree along the back of the weapon, with the snake coming off the front, and some guy dangling by his legs off the tree with like a thing around him. And it gets like kind of darker the further away from the tree you get, kind of showing that the tree is like the light or whatever. I'm sure this has some basis in like lore or religion or something, but I don't really know what it is, so for me it's a lot less cool. I guess you have the snake actually wrapping its whole way up, but yeah. If you understand the meaning of this, it's probably really cool and really well thought out or whatever, but for someone like me who has no clue what this might be referencing, it's just got some cool colors and a somewhat decent design with a pretty nice placed snake. It's nothing crazy, right? It's just okay. So for me it's just a solid B tier, probably yet again below the Cyrex. Then our final skin is the USP-S Print Stream. It's like the poor man's whiteout. And honestly, debatably better. Sometimes being too clean is kind of a problem. And the print streams tend to be that nice middle ground where it's like 99% clean with like one little design, right? And generally with the print stream, it's these two X's, and that's pretty much what you have here. Unfortunately, you have a little bit more than just the two X's on here, so there's all these like bars and whatnot, but it's generally a really solid white finish on the top, and a pretty solid black finish on the bottom, just like the tuxedo, except this one's really well done. Basically every part you're going to see in game 90% of the time is completely white, and then the part that you generally don't see unless you're reloading is black, and that contrast is really nice and absolutely beautiful. I might actually pick one of these up if they ever fall in price, which I don't know if they will, because this is just a phenomenal skin. Debatably better than the whiteout because it's actually achievable to get like a good look on it. Like the whiteout, there's gonna be like 5 people who own a completely white one. For this, most people that have a print stream will have something looking like this. But yeah, that's it for the USP-S skins. Pretty well balanced selection of skins, if I do say so myself. I hope you guys enjoyed looking at these skins as much as I did, and I will see you guys in the next one.